Here's a question for you. Is the FAA standing in the way of SpaceX's bold vision for the future of space travel? With Flight 5, we saw a glimpse of what's possible. A future where rockets, especially SpaceX's Starship, launch more often and at faster rates than ever before. But there's still one major roadblock: the FAA. And it's not just the FAA. In California, another agency recently prevented SpaceX from boosting Falcon 9 launch frequency along the coast. So, with these mounting challenges, will recent efforts to reform the FAA's approval process be enough to support SpaceX's ambitious Starship goals? Have you hit the like button yet? Help us boost the YouTube algorithm by giving us a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Many thanks for your amazing support. Let's break down what's happening and what it means for the future of American space exploration. On October 28th, U.S. Senator Jerry Moran publicly pushed the FAA to speed up its process for approving rocket launches. He didn't hold back, highlighting the fact that the FAA's slow, bureaucratic approach isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's a real obstacle that's holding back both SpaceX's Starship program and some of America's most vital national goals, like the Artemis moon mission. Just 3 days before that, Senator Moran sent a direct letter to the FAA's administrator, Mike Whitaker, calling for the agency to increase its transparency, accountability, and efficiency. He emphasized that the FAA's slow pace isn't just an inconvenience. It's a risk to both national security and the lunar program, two areas where SpaceX is absolutely critical. Elon Musk responded with a simple, much appreciated, but the message was clear. SpaceX is grateful for any effort to get the FAA moving faster. And Moran isn't alone in his frustration. Texas Congressman Keith Self recently urged the FAA to approve a proposal for 25 Starship launches out of Starbase, Texas, highlighting that the problem isn't just one politician's concern. Leaders from across the country, like California Congressman Kevin Kiley, other officials, aerospace executives, and even political figures like Donald Trump are calling for the FAA to reform. The message is clear. The U.S. can't afford to be bogged down by red tape if it wants to maintain its edge in space. Now, here's where things get interesting. The FAA has delayed numerous SpaceX missions, including the latest Starship flight, pushing back launch windows by weeks or even months. There's even speculation that these delays might have a political aspect, that Musk's own personal affiliations could be influencing the agency's decisions. But does that seem fair? Politics aside, SpaceX's contributions to the U.S. space program are undeniable. Flight 5 did eventually launch, but it was delayed much later than SpaceX had planned. That kind of delay has a ripple effect, pushing future missions further down the line. Now, as SpaceX prepares for Flight 6, there's silence from the FAA, which is, frankly, concerning. And it's not just Starship. Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy have also faced delays this year, with launches in July, August, and September postponed due to regulatory hurdles, despite there being no significant safety issues. And this isn't just a SpaceX issue. Even Blue Origin's New Glenn, which is awaiting a license for November, could be facing similar delays. The exception seems to be ULA, which rarely faces issues in the review process. Could SpaceX really be getting singled out here? The FAA often cites resource constraints as a reason for these delays. They say they don't have enough staff to handle the growing number of rocket launches, especially with SpaceX's ambitious schedule. But if they knew they'd be stretched thin, why didn't they plan for it sooner? Each delay not only slows down the individual missions, but also impacts national priorities that depend on reliable access to space. As the U.S. enters a period where high launch frequencies are crucial, the FAA's pace simply isn't keeping up. With support from officials like Senator Moran, there's hope that Flight 6 and future Starship launches will happen on a more predictable schedule. But it's going to be an uphill battle because the FAA doesn't operate in a vacuum. It has other agencies backing it, including ones focused on environmental and coastal regulations, like the California Coastal Commission, which has repeatedly blocked SpaceX's efforts on the West Coast. SpaceX wants to increase its launches at Vandenberg Space Force Base, potentially up to 50 per year. Yet political and environmental objections seem to keep popping up. SpaceX has accused the Coastal Commission of overstepping, arguing that these regulatory actions violate the U.S. Constitution and are ultimately harming national interests. SpaceX made it clear that these launches aren't just about Starlink. They're crucial for national security missions as well. The company even claimed that the Coastal Commission is deliberately stalling progress because of Musk's political views. And given that California is largely aligned with the opposing political party, this may not be too far-fetched. Elon Musk has already made big moves away from California, relocating his home and the headquarters of both Tesla and SpaceX to Texas. This shift could have long-lasting impacts on California's economy, as Musk's companies generate thousands of jobs. The Coastal Commission's interference not only jeopardizes SpaceX's mission, but could also impact the support of lawmakers like Kevin Kiley, who is pushing to keep space efforts strong. So where does this leave us? The U.S. is at a crossroads. Senator Moran highlighted two major areas that need immediate attention: national security launches and the moon race. For national security, SpaceX is already a key player. The U.S. Space Force's National Security Space Launch Program relies heavily on SpaceX, especially as other contractors like ULA and Blue Origin face delays of their own. SpaceX's upcoming Phase 3 of the program, set to start in 2026, will require them to ramp up their launch cadence to meet rising demand. If we want to see humans return to the moon, frequent and reliable Starship launches are non-negotiable. Even a slight delay could shift the balance in favor of competitors. So here's the big question. Does the FAA and other regulatory bodies need to reform, or should they face more serious consequences? The upcoming election might provide some answers, but what do you think? Is reform enough to secure the U.S.'s future in space, or do we need more drastic changes? In the meantime, let's hope SpaceX continues to push the boundaries, and that the obstacles don't slow them down. With Falcon setting launch records this year and Starship on the path to full reusability, 2024 could still be a monumental year for SpaceX. We're looking forward to Flight 6 and beyond, aiming for a future where these incredible rockets can launch without barriers. The journey continues. Let's see what SpaceX can achieve next. Don't forget to hit that like button, smash subscribe for more jaw-dropping space updates, and join us as we embark on a cosmic journey like never before.